Well, welcome everybody to the American Adventure Rotunda. My name's Carol. Hi. Hi, Carol. We're delighted you're here. I know you're enjoying the Flower and Garden Festival, and it's a gorgeous day. The sky is so blue. But I'm honored you came in here to cool off a little bit in this beautiful rotunda. And I have the opportunity to celebrate American music, composed by American composers or songs about America. We're going to celebrate jazz. We're going to celebrate the American songbook and American Broadway, and of course, Disney. And we're going to start off with a song that was definitely composed in America because I composed it. And I was born right here in Florida. Now take a look around and what do you see? Here in this house of Disney, we got song and rhythm too. We sing and swing a tune for you. We're gonna play that jazz and jive. We're gonna feel the beat and feel the drive. Play that jazz and jive, feel that beat and feel alive. Now take a look around, baby, what do you hear? Music that will please your ear. We got stomp your feet, it's so hot and you're gonna sweet. I'll play that jazz and jive. We're gonna feel that beat and feel the drive. We're gonna play that jazz and jive. We're gonna feel that beat and feel alive. Now walk around EPCOT, yes for you, where all your dreams come true. We're so glad you're here. Design some fun and music to hear. You're gonna play that jazz and jive. You're gonna feel that beat and feel the drive. You're gonna play that jazz and jive. You're gonna feel that beat and feel alive. That jazz and jive, feel that beat and feel the live. We're gonna play that jazz and jive. We're gonna feel that beat. It's oh so sweet. Feel that beat and feel alive. Well, thank you so much. Feel that beat and feel alive. We're gonna start with a little bit of jazz. That was a little bit of a swing. And if you look at our gorgeous exhibit here in the Rotunda, they did a beautiful job. And that very first exhibit over there says New Orleans, because that's where jazz began, right here in the United States, in New Orleans. And it could only have happened at that place at that time. There was a feeling of creativity and a sense of freedom because slavery had been abolished years before. And people from all over the world went to this cosmopolitan port town of New Orleans. People from South America, from Brazil, and people from Cuba, and from France, and Portugal, and Spain, and they all went to this port town of New Orleans. There was a joie de vivre, a living. Everybody wanted to live life to the fullest. And all these different cultures brought their rhythms and their instruments, and sometimes they would meet at a place called Congo Square. And a melange of all these musical cultures made it possible for this jazz to form. And they went up the Mississippi River, went up to Kansas, and to St. Louis, and to Chicago, and to New York, and eventually LA, and all over the world. So right here in America, in New Orleans, is where jazz was created, and it's one of the gifts that America gave to the culture and the music. Now, there's so many different composers throughout the years, and one of my favorites is George Gershwin. And he composed a song called I've Got Rhythm. And we're going to talk about rhythm in just a little bit. And I've got music. Well, I got my man who could ask for anything more. And I got daisies in green pastures. I've got my man who could ask for anything more. No home and trouble, I don't mind him, and you won't find him not round my door. 'Cause I've got starlight, and I've got sweet dreams, and I've got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more. No home and trouble, I don't mind him, and you won't find him not round my door. I've got starlight, and I got sweet dreams, and I got my man who could ask for anything more. Who could ask? Who could ask? Who could ask for anything more? Well, thank you. Who could ask for anything more? George Gershwin, and his brother Ira Gershwin was the lyricist. Now, jazz has many different elements. You have the rhythm, dun, 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 and you have the melody and the rhythm, and you have different cultural enhancements depending on which style of jazz. You have a Brazilian bossa nova. So let's have a little fun. Somebody give me the name of a child melody. Maybe Mary Had a Little Lamb or a Disney song, anything that everyone knows. Anyone? Like Row, Row, Row Your Boat, anything. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, excellent indeed. Now we're going to take Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. We're all going to sing it so you remember how it goes. And then we're going to play it in different jazz styles. Now, of course, you know who two of the first jazzers were? Bach and Mozart. And I'll show you why afterwards. Let's all sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star together. Ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Good. Got diamond in the sky. Bravo! Voices of Liberty would be so proud of you. Now, Mozart actually took that melody. He didn't compose it, and he did. Something like that. He would do variations on a theme. So we're going to do variations on a theme with jazz. So picture a romantic evening. There's candlelight and a soft jazz tune of your favorite, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So there you have it, a nice, quiet, romantic jazz ballad. Maybe we turn into a little bit of a jazz waltz. You know, a waltz is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but jazz adds a little bit of syncopation. A little jazzy waltz, or maybe it's a good old down Chicago blues kind of a feel. Oh, this is way too much fun. So jazz has different elements of rhythm, and the most important element, of course, is the jazz musician. Every one of us has our own soul and how we feel at that time, and what we decide to create and improvise at that moment. So that's a lot of fun. That's one of the gifts of America. Another one is the American Musical Theater. And Disney, too. How about that? Well, one of the most prolific composers is Leonard Bernstein. And he composed a musical called West Side Story. Anybody know what the theme of the storyline of West Side Story might be? Sharks and Jets, two opposing sides. What was it? Romeo and Juliet! Yay! That's exactly right. It's this side has the daughter that fell in love with this side, was the son, and their families don't get along, but they love each other. Yeah. And it's just like Romeo and Juliet. Now, Leonard Bernstein composed the music, and it won 10 out of the 11 Academy Awards that it was nominated for. Who knows who wrote the lyrics to West Side Story? That's a good guess, but Stephen Sondheim, a very young Stephen Sondheim. He wrote the lyrics, that's right. He's a prolific composer himself, but at that time he was very young and collaborated with Leonard Bernstein. And the music is exquisite. They just came out with a new, has anybody seen the new film? Yeah. The new, and they also won awards just now recently. It's the same music, but mostly different actors. There's actually one actress. Rita Moreno was in the original and the new remake. Pretty phenomenal. They gave her a very unique role this time. They kind of created, they used creativity, but here's some of the selections from, it's an American gem. It's truly now a cultural heritage thing of West Side Story. thank you so much. Thank you. The music to West Side Story, composed by a legendary Mr. Leonard Bernstein, and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim. I'm so delighted you came to share some music from America right here in the American Adventure Rotunda. Please don't go away, because the brilliantly famous and talented Voices of Liberty will be right there in the center of the Rotunda. I'll be back for one more set at 4:30. Thank you for joining us again. My name is Carol, for those of you who came in. Thank you. That jazz and jive, you're gonna feel that beat. It's oh so sweet. Feel